They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Starting the drive with Algier. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Chasing chicken got me dripping in the sun, baby. On the weapon, I feel the love, break the law, baby. You better watch your mouth, talking to a ball, baby. Shit on niggas every time they piss down, baby.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Ritter now. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guys' pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll give to Algier out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now 3rd down and 7.
You can teach plans. Kind of like a chick. That'll come great. Stay tuned. Just straight move. I'm a pack move. I'm a wait move. You realize? Okay, we're going to count
Ritter to throw it.
Like 30 G's. He's
going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 44-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
and teach my about my chick.
On first and 10, it's Algier. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Ritter's throw complete. This is London. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. A gain there of 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did. And what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that, you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Bootlegging out here. Ritter. He'll buy some time right. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Desmond Ritter, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Now Arthur Smith going to tell the offense to stay put. We're going for 2. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Opening drive touchdown, and 2-point conversion.
Amazing nowadays for the kickers. I've actually talked with a few of them. They're more concerned about the point after touchdown than actually missing regular field goals.
Yeah, nigga.
Just taking some pressure off here.
Yeah.
Going for 2 and saying,
Nigga.
I'm saving you for the big stuff later.
He's hanging out by the net.
That's how you be saying that shit. It's funny as hell.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Bigsby with a carry to begin the series. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down. 2nd down, here's a run with Bigsby. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he gets it up past the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that's complete TTN out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Now Lawrence now going to move him around. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, 37 yards. And the Jags have come back to make it a 2-point game. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And this is now a 1-point game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's Robinson. Here's Robinson. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
39 yards there, a big one.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Now they'll change things around before the snap. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On 1st down, Ritter. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throw left side. There's London. He's got room to roam, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Ritter on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Second and goal from inside the 5. Robinson will score. Touchdown Atlanta.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now Arthur Smith going to tell the offense to stay put. We're going for 2. In motion right is the running back. Ritter will throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Now Lawrence to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one.
Okay, ready? Check right. Check pink. Black ultra. Red cycle.
Ritter looking to throw on 1st and 10. And the JAX get to him as down he goes. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Ritter. It's Miller, complete. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Jamal Agnew. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Man in motion is Agnew. They're going to keep it on the ground, but he will not get the 2 points. He stopped up short, and that is how this first half will come to an end. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. Lawrence will throw. He's going to air one out. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. That is caught. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. They go play action with Lawrence. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, 57 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Now it's 2nd and 10. A give left side to Robinson. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Looking to throw it here. Ritter. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Trying for it on 4th down. Here's Ritter. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Lawrence. And it is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram from 17 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't commit a skill. That's how we roll.
I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. He may go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Ritter will set up to throw it. Flush to his right. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 32-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. 1st down, here's Ritter. Being chased out left. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Another throw coming up here for Ritter. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Back to throw, Ritter. That's caught inside the 20. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Throws right back to London, complete again. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Forced out to his left. Ritter has him knocked down, and the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them.
Oh, and this is going to wind up with safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Taking about the 16. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me,
oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 23 yards, the final tally. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Ritter to throw on first down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And they're going to speed things up here. Ritter to throw it. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Aluakin. And the Jags are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
From the gun, Bigsby. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I put the word big in capital letters here. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. He completes it to Ridley. Touchdown, Jaguars! Calvin Ridley with his second touchdown of the night. And the Jaguars have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. Lawrence and the Jags offense staying out there. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Ritter on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And the Jaguars will take over here just shy of the 30.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. That one looks like he'll throw here. That one complete downfield to Kirk. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Lawrence. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Lawrence. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a